meeting to order. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On December 18, 2019, by posting written notice of the official bulletin board on the municipal building on December 18, 2019, by following notice with the clerk of Borough Woodlynne on December 18, 2019. At this point, I'd like to have Pastor Brown and First Methodist Church please light up with the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who does hold us to account for the use of all our powers and privileges, we humbly ask that you would guide the newly elected mayor and all who will work with him in the ordering of this city, and grant them the spirit of wisdom, courage, sympathy, and true godliness. We pray that the mayor will bring to his work a brain that thinks, a heart that feels, and that he may have vision for this city guided by your divine wisdom, O Lord, that he may never be trapped by routine and convention and popular opinion, but will have a care only for what will promote good government. We pray that this new year and new decade and new administration will bring growth, peace, and prosperity here to the city of Woodlynne. We ask these things through the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
At this point now, we will start with the Councilwoman Jonathan Cristiano.
I state your name.
I, Jonathan Cristiano,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of people,
under the authority of people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
and
justly perform all the duties of the Council of Councilwoman, of the duties of the office of Councilwoman.
all the duties of the Council of
That's my
Office of Councilwoman,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
At this point, it gives me honor to call upon Fontanet to come up with his family, and we're going to have Frankie Fontanet.
your name.
I, Edwin Fontanes,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New Jersey,
And I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the government
to the same and government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties
I will impartially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of councilman
of the office of councilman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right there. Okay.
At this point now, it gives me great honor to call upon Mayor-elect Joseph Chewocki and his family to please come up. And at this point, it is with great honor that we have here with serving us here and coming in here is the Mayor of Kansas City, Frank Moran. Administrator Miller.
I state your name.
I, Joseph
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of the mayor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I don't know how far he's going to run. Keep going. At this point now, do I have a nomination for council president? Is there a second? Do I hear another nomination? Motion to close it. Motion by mic is on. I'll try to hold up. Here it is, this one. No nomination, motion to close it. Motion by Feliciano, second by Torres. Full vote. Mr. Fontanez? Mr. Fuentes? Mrs. Torres? Mr. Cook? Mr. Feliciano? Mrs. Early? Congratulations, Council President.
Resolution number 2020-1, appointment of certified agent. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second? Motion by Council President only and second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Fontanez?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Mr. Morris? Mr. Cook?
No.
Mr. Feliciano? President Early? Five yes, one no.
Yes, one no, motion carries. Resolution number 2020-2, appointment of official newspapers. Can I get a motion?
Motion by Fuentes?
Motion by Fuentes and second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? No question, roll call.
Fontanez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook?
Yes.
Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution number 2020-3, cash management. Can I get a motion and second, please? Motion by Council President on, second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question? No question, roll call.
Fontanez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2024, Open Public Meeting Act. Can I get a motion and second? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano, second by Council President Hawley. Any question? No question, roll call.
Fontanez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Torres? Mr. Cook? Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2020-5, appointment of safety and aging coordinators. Can I get a motion? A second?
Motion.
Motion by Council President, second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? No question, roll call.
Fontanez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Torres? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2026, equal employment opportunity. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Motion by Council President, second by Councilman Fontanes. Any question?
Yes. What is this, it says that, the mayor is hereby designated as a person with complaint, alleged discrimination, and applicants. Saying that, would it would that really be in the best interest that the mayor is designated to deal with that instead of the borough clerk that handles the day-to-day operation?
25 years.
Excuse me, we can't hear you. We can't hear anyone.
You guys have any working lights up there or not?
Yeah.
It's not everyone. We can't hear votes.
They're recording, sadly, they're not amplifying, so we'll do our best, folks, okay? Try and keep them up. How was that?
A little better, thank you.
Yours had big mouth.
Having the understanding, can everybody hear me? Yes. Having the understanding that the responsibility, it states here that the mayor is responsible
for allegations of discrimination towards employees and other applicants. My question to the mayor is, should this responsibility be the responsibility of the borough clerk, who is also responsible for the day-to-day operation of the municipality?
So the questions are supposed to be to the actual motion, which is on the table and seconded. So you get to vote if you don't agree with it, but call to order. Simply, your question has to be as to the form. The motion's made and seconded, and if the question has been posed, not here, but it should be up here, and you're against, then that's the way you should vote.
My question
The question's supposed to be to the form of the motion, as opposed to a, something else.
Martinez? Yes. Fuentes? Torres? Cook? Luciano? President Early?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 2020-7, Community Development Board. Can I get a motion and second? Motion by Council President Harley and second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Roll call.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Mr. Torres? Mr. Cook?
No.
Mr. Feliciano? Ms. Feliciano, I'm sorry. President Early?
Motion carries. Resolution 2028, bank depositories. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Council President Harley and second by Councilman Fontanez. Any question?
Yes. According to what we have here, you have this, and I don't have any objection, the mayor, Chairman, Council President, CFO, Joseph, Krista, and my question is and of course, Geraldo Fuentes, accounting clerk. But I don't recall the clerk. I recall clerk, but not accountant. So my question is behind the accounting clerk position, in which the solicitor was present on the day that that position was appointed, or even announced.
Well, there were three positions. We voted yes, we voted no, and all other council voted yes, and it's 5-1 has been voted in. However, if you have any objection, or you need a signatory to order or check, just like the solicitor said, if you just vote no, you understand.
Once again, the accounting clerk position, you have account clerk. We did not vote in favor of an account clerk position for
The mayor's trying to remind you that it was voted on, and you voted.
For an account clerk.
That's what the mayor tells me.
Voted no.
I believe that the general public you must announce that that was never.
Roll call.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Resolution 2029, appointment of political position. I get motion and second. Motion by Council President Early, second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question?
Yes. Once again, you have section 1, Diane Calavari will be appointed to municipal improvement clerk, search clerk, tax search officer, deputy tax collector. In section 2, you have Geraldo Fuentes, deputy tax collector. My issue is the conflict of interest, as well as the fact that during the special meeting, there was no indication that our application took forth or resume for the position of deputy tax collector.
Is there a question?
So my question is why did we not approve prior to the meeting that information as far as those who were applying for the position and the posting for deputy tax collector? Why did we not go through a hiring process, and if that process was done, where's the application of the applicants that were applying for that job, other than Mr. Fuentes and Mrs. Diane Calavari, which we have both of them listed, also accomplished because Mrs. Diane Calavari is actually very Fuentes' in-law.
There's no conflict of interest. I'm not her supervisor.
Why are you thinking, sir?
He's right.
Usually there's any position in the order, those who are existing now, first shot at before the public.
You have two paid positions. You have one paid position that's on two positions. It did not show the separation of who gets paid what. You have Geraldo Fuentes that's listed as the deputy tax collector, and you have Diane Calavari that's also being listed as the deputy tax collector. So the same is here.
Marcy was on position. And
Sir, why is it that Mr. Fuentes, I'm asking the mayor the question, why are you responding, counseling the mayor on the question?
okay.
Any other questions?
Mayor, isn't it a different time?
One second, at the public portion, okay, at the public portion, please.
You have another question?
Yes, the other is number 4. We have a custom that is also another topic. For a part-time position as well.
Is that a question, Councilman? So it's clear, these motions are made and seconded, they're on the floor. If you have a question about what was first and seconded, that's the only question you ought to be asking, not debate. You have to ask a question.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook? No. Seattle? President Early?
Motion passed. Resolution 2020-10, appointment of certified financial officer. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Council President. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question?
Yes. The application process once again for positions that have been applied for the CFO. The business of resumes, as well as information as far as posting for the position.
Well, I heard that it's unclassified position, and besides the new CFO was the current one. So they already
We allow
was,
a hiring process to take place to allow anybody else to apply for the position other than the current.
Again, opening this within the borough, the people that work there get a false shot. Any more questions?
All right, so you said the individual that currently holds the position gets the first shot at it. But where is the opportunity for the other individuals, the other applicants to apply for that position? Because that position is not closed.
Let's move on to board.
Martinez? Fuentes? Torres? Cook?
No.
Feliciano? President Early?
Resolution 2020-11, appointment of professionals. Can I get a motion? Motion by Council President and second by Councilor Feliciano. Any question? Oh, I'm sorry, second by Councilwoman Torres. Any question?
Yeah. Now, is this pertaining to all the contracts that were with or differences?
That's what professional service.
Not pertaining to the contract, the things that were submitted to us as far as.
You mean the RFPs?
Yeah. So Mike, once again, we had this reference in which it was reported that says the current mayor and Karen Early had basically said that they held a conversation and meeting amongst each other, which is against the Open Public Meetings Act. And based off of that conversation, they said that these are the contracts of individual companies that they feel that the council should approve. Certain individuals, as far as pertaining to the contract, was not given the proper opportunity or documentation wasn't presented before the council correctly, showing information.
Are we coming to the question soon?
Yeah. My problem is that we didn't give just opportunity for the other individuals that submitted applications. One of the information that was submitted was dated December 17, 2018.
That's what they turned in.
I spoke with the company and they said they did not turn that in.
That's what they turned in.
The information they said, according to the information that I got here, is 2019, December 16, 2019, which is the information they sent directly to me to say that they didn't send the incorrect information. They sent the proper information, and when you open the inside of the information, it was listed to the former clerk, which was Michael Korsner, and the current one that should have been read during that meeting was Cheryl Litchum's information, who was the acting borough clerk. So therefore, it didn't give this company an opportunity to present itself.
Not only not a question, but a very long statement.
So
You have to ask a question.
My question is, we didn't give
That's not a question.
open. Well, my question is this: why didn't we give the opportunity, the proper opportunity, for these companies to submit their documentation? And if we saw any issues with the documentation, why didn't we contact that before we make our decision?
Well, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to tell people to fix up their proposals or their bids. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, the proposals and bids were
But
given.
wait, I'm not debating. Question on a motion been asked, talked about more than I want to mention.
So my question is this: if the information that was
I'm
supplied,
not going to debate this.
All right, Councilor. Roll call, please.
Yeah. Fuentes? Torres? Cook?
no.
Feliciano? President Early?
Motion passed.
want to take this moment, you know, Mike's been very busy, 40 years here in the borough of Woodlynne. And his service to this community has really been tremendous. Michael has been backward, fighting for this community, always looking for the betterment of the borough of Woodlynne, no matter what it was. At any time when there was a phone call that was needed to be made, he picked it up, whether it was in the weekend, while he was on vacation. I want to say thank you. And on behalf of the borough of Woodlynne, to Michael McKenna, Woodlynne Mayor and Council would like to thank you for being such a valuable member of our team. You have motivated and encouraged us throughout the 39 years. We wish you the best and continued success.
Good night, everybody.
Resolution 2020-12, meeting dates. Motion by Councilwoman Morris, second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question? Yes, no question, and no call.
Martinez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook? Luciano? President?
Oh, yes. 2020-13 Department Committees. Motion and second? Motion by Councilwoman Norris. Second by Council President Hawley. Any question? Good. Good. Rolling.
Martinez?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook? Mr. Luciano? President Early?
Motion carries. Resolution 2020-14 appointments of risk management consultant. Motion and second? Motion by Council President Hawley. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote.
Mr. Fontenot?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook? Luciano? President Early?
Yes.
Resolution carries. Resolution 2020-14 appointment of Resolution 2020-15 appointment of fund commissioner. Motion and second? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano. Second by Council President Hawley. Vote. Any question? Full vote.
Fontenot?
Yes.
Fuentes? Morris? Cook?
Yes.
Luciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2020-16, appointments of using officers. Can I get motion and seconds? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano and second by Council President. Any question?
Yes. My question is about the application process once again. I'm actually looking to consider, basically, applications where, applicants, apply for a position other than this individual. We did the application for this one. For the the new temple office? Okay, what's that? I have that on
Any more questions? Full vote?
Mr. Fontenot?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Mr. Torres? Mr. Cook? Mr. Feliciano? President Early?
Resolution carries. Resolution 2020-17, appointment of police department position. Can I get a motion and second? Motion by Council President. Second? Second by Councilman Fontenot. Any question?
Yeah. Once again, was the process given for an opportunity for these positions? And do every applicant to qualify of the positions that So the position of the class 1 officer went through the police academy as well. We're talking about section 4.
Yes.
Diane Teleberg.
Any more questions?
No.
Full vote?
Mr. Fontenot?
Yes.
Mr. Torres? Mr. Cook?
No.
Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 2020-18, appointment of fire chief. Motion and second, please. Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano, second. Second by Councilman Fontenot. Any questions?
Yeah. Does Michael Rivera still reside here in Borough Woodlynne?
No.
So why isn't there, now, I'm not saying that I would not vote in favor of this, but my question is, I don't see anything stating a residency waiver for the position.
Listen, we are volunteer fire. The borough don't pay us and they put oil down. We get up early in the morning just to help people. Now, if anybody willing to volunteer by all good gracious, I'll give you application. And you are welcome to join. I'm a member, he's a member, and other people here sitting down there, they're a member. And we're not paying them, not even water that we give them. Okay, now he moved out of the city and he still come whenever the fire call is on. Okay, now you can vote no, and then we'll move on. Any more questions?
Is there a requirement for the position for the fire chief to be a Woodlynne resident?
No, that is not.
So, and the reason I ask that is because we do have a candidate, we do have another candidate who is going to be appointed, seeking appointment to be deputy fire chief. So, my only reason behind that is he's a Woodlynne resident.
Did you ask him if he wants the job?
I'm asking, did we ask him if he
Well,
wants
all
the
this
job?
has been done before. We've gone through that and he didn't want it.
This is a new year, things have changed.
Okay,
So that's
you
what I'm
asked him
asking.
for this year?
My question to you, Mayor, is did we offer the job to
My answer is Eddie Jordan. I asked him if he wanted this, and he said no. Just
Somebody found it.
That's what I'm about.
Yes.
Torres?
Appointment of Deputy Chief.
I know.
Can I get motion and second? Motion by Council President. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question?
Yeah, I have a question. What's their name, Jordy? Where's he at? I asked him if he was interested, and I would give you your answer. All right,
Yes, move on.
Yes.
Torres? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Feliciano? President Early?
Resolution 2020-20, appointment of municipal public defender. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Council President and second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote.
Martinez?
Abstain?
Torres? Cook? Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 2020-21, appointment of UCC plumbing inspector. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano. Second by Council President. Any question?
Yeah. Was this position posted?
He's already working for the borough, and this is unclassified position. You have another question?
If I could just clarify, this position is pursuant to a term. That's my understanding. This is just a. It's not permanent, it is prescribed by statute, terms of
So we have a problem that we in other words, if the borough decided that they didn't want to go out, how would we go about it?
My understanding, this is a reinforced.
Full vote?
Martinez? Fuentes? Torres? Mr. Cook? Feliciano?
Motion carries. Resolution 2022, appointment of UCC electrical inspector. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Council President. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote.
Martinez?
Yes.
Torres? Cook? Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 2023, meeting dates. Can I get motion and second? Motion by Councilwoman Torres. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Resolution 2024. Can I get a motion and second? Motion by Council President. Diana. Any questions?
So you're saying you would be acting as old, after the.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fine, that's good. Well, we have also applying for there's two different positions. Now, those two positions are they the same?
Can't hear anything anyway.
Resolution 2025. Can I get motion and second? Any questions?
You okay with that? Or you want to go first?
Before I go to the public question, just want to address people that gathered here today, the Woodlynne people, and our dignitaries. The Lord God Almighty, I give all glory and thanks for his guidance, blessings, and protection. The great people and citizens of Woodlynne, I am thankful, honored, and privileged for the mandate and opportunity to serve as your mayor. I want to thank my family, especially my wife, Kate, my children, and my relatives for their support and understanding. I'm going to need them because of the time I'm going to spend tackling the city's problems. I also thank Mayor Fontes for his outstanding service and leadership. He has assembled a great coalition of volunteers who concerted effort ensured this historic win. I'm going to give a big shout to all of them, especially to our councilman Edmund Fantanes, Councilwoman Anon Feliciano, and all the council's members here. Also, the Woodlynne employees, whose dedication has kept the borough afloat. I'd like to thank my mother, Catherine, and also who is here, along with my mother-in-law, Grace Eka, who is also here with us. I moved into this borough in 1994 from Philadelphia. And I've been privileged to interact and work with many of you as a neighbor, concerned citizens, volunteer firefighters, community organizers, or more recently, the Board of Council members. I am therefore better positioned to know and appreciate the enormity of the challenges facing our great borough and the people we represent. This is not to say that the Borough Council will not listen, consider, and or adopt suggestions from the citizens. This administration will operate an open door policy and therefore welcome ideas on how to take the city to the next level. As we enter the new year, my vision is to create a livable, affordable, and more secure borough with opportunities for everyone, regardless of color, gender, age, and grief. A borough where no neighborhood or ethnic group is left out. The road ahead of us may be tough and rough, as we may encounter obstacles, resistance, and even resentment. But through our collective determination and sense of purpose, we shall overcome this end. I will continue to honor commitments made by the previous mayor or administration, complete all ongoing projects while exploring new opportunities. We will focus on infrastructures, youth empowerment and employment, safe and secure neighborhood, robust economy, and affordable housing, maybe. I hope to partner with big businesses, create and fund all the borough programs for our youth, to keep them off the street. Our citizens must be educated on their civic responsibility so they can hold their elected leaders accountable. The crumbling and abandoned housing units will be renovated and maybe rented out, or somebody come in and buy them through the borough partnership with the private sector. The borough must operate under fiscal discipline and take steps to broaden our revenue base without new tax. I hope to streamline our borough government by consolidating departments and cutting costs while maintaining the same quality of service that our citizens are used to. Therefore, I propose to be in constant consultation and partnership with expert firms, the academia, level, and other government and non-government organizations to encourage investment in the borough. This partnership should lead to job fairs, mentorship and work apprenticeship programs, and tax incentives. As your mayor, I will work for all, regardless of your political affiliation. When we rise together, we will reach our greatest height. As God should have it, I have sworn by the Bible to uphold the Constitution. Therefore, I will be guided by no other principle than those of the Bible and the Constitution. Closing my speech, not the meeting, I wish to thank the citizens of Woodlynne for the privilege of serving as a member of the Borough Council. Together with you, council members, we will keep our borough beautiful, progressive, and safe place to live. Yes, we can. She said, thank you, and God bless you. We will open the meeting to the public. Please come forward, say your name and your address.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Goodwin, 315 Cypress Avenue. First, I want to congratulate our new mayor and new council member and councilwoman. I really appreciate what you just read. I thought that was great, and I look forward to working with you. I do have some comments, but before I go on, I've been to a lot of meetings, and this meeting's been going on for a solid hour, and I haven't seen a tape flip. Is this being recorded? The tape is Okay, I just wanted to make sure, before we went into it, I wanted to make sure things were actually being recorded. Okay, I have a few things I want to bring up. And Mr. Leduc, sorry, welcome to our town. Thank you, Council President, for welcoming me up here as well. I appreciate that. So I have a few things I want to just kind of bring up that are kind of outstanding first. First, there's a borough code book needs to be recodified. And I brought up a couple of meetings ago that there was a discrepancy in terms of the money shown in the budget that was approved for 2019 versus what I believe was actually paid to them. And secondly, based upon the deliverable schedule of the agreement, that code book should almost be finished. It should be months away. And so I ask you, Mayor Chouecki, not to bore everybody here with all the details, would you personally look into the status of the recodification and also to see where the appropriated monies were spent if they weren't paid to the company that's doing the codification? Okay, thank you. Secondly, there is the intersection of Evergreen and Front Streets. It's been brought up numerous times that stop bars and a crosswalk should be painted there. The council president had indicated months ago it was going to be done. She actually said it was done, and then when notified it wasn't done, she said it'll be done tomorrow. We're still here today and that isn't done. And so I'm asking you if you would please, one, get that done, and two, look into the process about how things get done, because we've been talking about this since like June, and now it's probably too cold. A crosswalk and stop bar at the intersection of Evergreen and Front Street. So if you could commit looking into that, getting back to the third, again, I appreciate your enthusiasm coming in. We do have a flooding issue in Woodlynne. And again, I would like you to work with engineers that were appointed tonight and figure out what grants and what is available to try to address that flooding in there. Because when I brought up with the previous administration, it was like we can't do anything. I'm confident with your expertise and knowledge, you'll be able to get something done. So thank you. The fourth thing is the master plan. I just really want to know, that's been brought up, you know, again, for everybody's benefit, the master plan needs to be re-examined every 10 years. Woodlynne's was last done in 2006, so we're now about 4 years out of date. I brought it up numerous times in 2019. We got answers that we're not doing it, we're doing it, we're not doing it, and I just really want to know what the status is of that, whether any proposals were received, executed, what the status is. Again, if you could talk about that at the next meeting, I would appreciate that.
Sure.
Okay? My next question has to actually do with the mayor position itself. And sometime in 2012, the mayor position was moved into a full-time / CEO position. And now it's being put back down to a part-time position. And I just would like you to work with the solicitor to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. That if something needs to be done, that the governing body passes whatever ordinance or resolution to properly effectuate that.
You all right? And we will do that.
Thank you, sir. Again, numerous months ago, there was lots of discussion about the county equalization rate. Woodlynne has the highest tax rate in all of New Jersey. And there was a conversation with the county about them adjusting the equalization rate. And again, I would ask you if you could possibly get us an answer at the next meeting about where that stands in terms of, has there been any progress, any conversations, whatever we can do to make sure that proceeds. Because if we can lower our county equalization rate, it's going to save the taxpayers of Woodlynne significant dollars. Okay, and then the last of the, we'll say the older items is there's numerous vehicles that have been sitting and rusting for years. And if we can't auction them, can we just get rid of them? At this point, I don't know who would buy a vehicle that's been sitting out in the elements for 3 years, but if we could just do something with them, I would appreciate it. I don't think there's much value left, but again, we can get that. So kind of a new topic. There was a special meeting on December 26th, where the mayor at the time appointed himself to be the municipal clerk, and the governing body approved that. And so I have a few questions that relate to that. One, in earlier December, the borough created an administrator position. Why wasn't the administrator position filled, and instead we filled a clerk's position?
Jeff, I know you and I talked about this after the meeting. We didn't reiterate again. If you look around our neighborhood, all the boroughs who are a little bit bigger than us, they don't even have administrators. And their boroughs still run effectively. I don't really think that we need that in this borough unless we have money. Once I sit down and see that you guys have enough money for all these people, believe me, we can go for it. But for right now, I don't know what we have in our pocket. I don't know if we can sustain that, but with what we have, I think we can move forward. Just like other boroughs who are much more higher than ours, they don't even have it. I don't know why we should have.
Well, I think
but
But
we put that in before that special meeting with hope that we're gonna get it. But after we did some research and found out that we don't really need it.
Okay, well, I think that's a very fair answer. So one of the questions that was unclear to me is at that 12/26 meeting, the then mayor was appointed to several positions, and in listening to videos, it was unclear. Could you enumerate what the positions were that he was appointed to at that meeting?
Well, actually, I don't have my paper from that meeting. If it's something that you can book an appointment, we can sit down, and then I will show you the 3 positions that he's been appointed to.
Okay. How did the resolution tonight, 2020-24, how did that differ? Because we don't see that. All we saw is that. How does that differ from what was done on December 26th?
former mayor just let me know that during that meeting, he was appointed as a clerk position.
I'm sorry?
Clerk position that he was appointed, not municipal.
What does that mean? So in the clerk position,
Yes.
will he be signing resolutions and ordinances, or?
Because now,
So at that meeting, it was discussed that he was gonna get paid $75,000 for that position. And what are the other positions?
well, actually, let me just correct what you just said there. Not it was a promotion. Go ahead, repeat your question again.
Well, the question is, so let me just take a step back and just say, so the resolution was passed tonight appointing, I guess, appointing him as the municipal clerk. Is that what happened tonight?
I can't hear anything, I'm right here.
So there's gonna be a separate borough clerk, and he's been appointed to just a clerk position? Is there a job title for this, or a job description for the clerk position?
Jeff, yes, if you come down to the borough, there's several clerks, just like, Shaw Electrical.
Thank you.
And she was a clerk position, so there's several clerk positions.
So we're paying a clerk $75,000 to be a clerk?
Now, he has to do 3 positions in the borough.
Okay, but you don't know what those positions are. So at the next meeting or sometime, you could provide exactly, would you provide exactly what positions are being filled by the gentleman to your left? And also how that $75,000 is broken out into each specific job?
Yes, I will give that to you in the next meeting, and beside the gentleman on my left, his name is Gerard Fuentes.
Yes.
Good. More questions?
Okay. So, and just so I understand, was this position advertised for in any papers before the meeting on the 26th?
It was.
Can you say what paper? Because
Listen, I don't know the paper, but I understand you send a request which has been about to be put together to send to you, so all that stuff is in there.
okay, we'll talk about that at the next meeting because we've reached out to the Courier Post. We've reached out to the Retrospect. The Retrospect posted a job notice on December 27th, the day after the meeting, and it did not fit the description you're discussing. So I think we need. Personally, I think we need the new solicitor to maybe take a look at what was done and see how legal it was, and maybe things need to be redone.
And look at it and advise.
So to that end, for everybody's benefit here, sorry for my back. At that meeting on the 26th, the mayor appointed himself to a position. He mentioned meetings and conversations. Okay. He mentioned meetings and conversations where this decision was made by the council prior to coming to a public meeting. And as we talked about, the notice is a little bit suspect. So one of the things I would like to pass out, and again, would love the opinion of the new solicitor, is could you possibly pass things around? Thank you so much. Anyway, New Jersey has a local government ethics law. And without boring everybody with the specifics, my interpretation, and here, Edwin. Sorry. My interpretation of the ethics law is if you are on the mayor and council, you are prohibited from being appointed to a position in the borough for 1 year.
And again, I would really like the solicitor to give us an opinion on that, because, Mr. Chouwaki, I have the full ethics law, if you want to see the full thing. I just printed out the parts that were pertinent, but I do have the full thing that we can put on the record. And so I would just like to ask you, Mr. Chouwaki, if you would have the solicitor take a look at this before the next meeting and provide an opinion on whether or not, again, what was done on December 26th meets New Jersey law. Is that something that we can commit to doing?
Sure. I probably will say if we could give them the next 2 meetings, so you can have time and do all the research that you need.
Okay. And again, I'm sorry, it was so difficult to hear. Who's the new municipal clerk?
Joseph Casati.
Okay. And do you guys have a resume on him and proof that he's a registered municipal clerk?
He's been working at CSO, right? Yeah.
I understand that, but is he a municipally registered clerk by DCA?
By law, they can have up to 2 years to take the test. There's an extension that you can take the test.
Okay. I don't know if he is or not. However, if it's not, he have a leeway that he could.
Okay.
Test with
So again, I mean, just for tonight though. And again,
But again, hold on. But again, it's my understanding that he's been working under the same capacity, for Borough. Okay.
would it be possible to provide a resume for him at the next meeting, so the residents can see what his qualifications are to be the clerk?
You know what? Okay. We would do that, but for confidentiality, if you can appoint one person who can talk to your residents, who can come down and then get the information from the borough, then you can look at it and then you could explain to them. It wouldn't be nice to get somebody then from their file and just throw it out there. If somebody come to you and throw your own out, I don't think it will be good for you. Okay. So if you could get one or two person, you can come down and sit with a representative downstairs, and they can give you that.
I'd be happy if you just had it and the council had it and just said whether he's a registered municipal clerk, and if not, what has he done to take steps in that direction?
Okay, that's not your question. Your question was his resume.
Right, well, that would be on the resume, I would assume.
Okay.
If he's applying for the clerk, I would assume that what he has pertinent to the clerk would be on it.
I'll get it, whatever they have, I'll call you, and then you'll come and inspect it.
Okay.
And then we'll move on.
And
Okay.
redact any information that needs to be redacted, his address, all that, I don't need that. I just want to see his qualifications. Okay, thank you.
Robert Baum, 1918 Woodlynne Avenue. I have some things for you guys as well.
So can you state your name?
Robert Baum. Okay, now these are the laws as it pertains to the municipal clerk. If someone would be so kind as to read the first highlighted section. Very well. In every municipality, there shall be a municipal clerk appointed for a 3-year term by the governing body of the municipality. Now, at the last meeting, he told us the appointment was permanent. This says that the appointment can only be for 3 years.
I'm not applying for the municipal clerk.
You apply for the borough clerk.
Just the clerk.
Different position. There's multiple clerks, not municipal clerk.
Not municipal. Then what's the difference between the municipal clerk and the borough clerk?
There's different responsibilities, different jobs.
All right. Very well. Let's bring up the fact that a member of council who is related to the person who received the appointment voted period, much less voted yes. Isn't that a conflict of interest? Isn't that an ethical problem?
What specifically are you referring to?
I'm specifically referring to the fact that Councilman Pablo Fuentes voted yes for the appointment to give him a job in the borough. A job that he is not qualified for.
I have the qualification.
You don't have the certification.
It's not municipal clerk, sir.
There is no certification requirement?
Yeah, 75,000, yeah.
We can move forward.
I have a question.
He's saying, no, this is.
Now, for the record, I'll also give you guys a copy of this as well. I have evidence that the ad in the retrospective did not come out anytime at all before the appointment. So that you can have that as well. And as has been mentioned, I spoke to the Courier Post myself this morning, who told me that the ad that was supposed to be run was submitted via voicemail on the 23rd, and the ad just never ran, because whenever they tried to reach back out to Mr. Fuentes, he never answered, he never responded. So that means that there was absolutely no notice that went out for this. And he still managed to award the position to himself. And as I said, his brother voted yes for that. So clearly a conflict of interest. Clearly it wasn't being advertised. Whether it was sent or not, it did not get published.
He's not the.
It got, Mr. Mayor, it got sent. I told him whether they closed it or not, it got sent. We have documents.
Doesn't matter.
Showing that you did not apply for that specific position.
It was sent there. I'm not-
We have documentation proving that there was no notice sent out to anybody until after the vote.
Is there a reason why we're all whispering?
I don't know.
I'm talking,
Okay.
I'm addressing the mayor.
Okay.
So, the documents will show you said, rather they can't figure that or not, so what, just over there, you did see what was sent to the paper.
Well, miscommunication or not getting each other on the phone from the newspaper to the mayor is way above between you and I. Now, Pablo Fuentes voting on the resolution he shouldn't have. However, even if you count his votes out, are you okay?
No, not really, but go ahead. I'm listening. Not really, but I will be okay.
Even if he didn't vote, you still got more vote on the yes side than on the no side.
And that may well be. But the fact of the matter is that he did vote, and nobody else said anything about it.
Can't hear anything. We can't hear.
Everyone's whispering.
Just leave it.
Okay.
I think that's the end of the answer. Yes?
Yeah, I think that is the end of the answer.
You heard what I said.
I did. I'm sorry. It's very quiet. I can't hear.
Hear anything.
And we're
standing
right
We
here. I
hear
can't hear
what's
you.
going on.
Can anyone else hear?
Nobody can hear. With all the chatter going on.
Pablo voted on that resolution. Was a mistake that he did vote it. Okay? Yes, it's a conflict of interest that he voted it. But above all, the yes vote, even if you count Pablo's vote out, still carries the resolution.
And that's fine. My
Okay.
concern
Now-
here is an ethical concern, because nobody else voiced any problems whatsoever about the fact that he voted on this.
He regretted he voted on it. Okay, he regretted after the meeting he voted.
And is the official position that it was okay that you sent out notice, even though it was published well after the fact in one publication, not two. You're saying that's okay? Just because it did publish, even though no one was able to see it or apply, that's acceptable?
Okay. Now, it is acceptable to the fact, if you listen to what your husband said, that he called the newspaper. They said to him, they're trying to reach out to him. For whatever reason, he did not answer back. And maybe that was why they did not post it.
They got the voicemail on the 23rd.
Right, and the one in the retrospect was published after the appointment.
It was published on the 27th.
So is that acceptable?
Now, there is an opera that sent out on that, and that opera was also have the date that they send it to the newspaper.
Do you have the proofs?
They have it. He's gonna send it to Jeff. Jeff requested for the opera, so it's coming down to Jeff. You guys can read it.
We don't need to read that.
And we don't, because we saw when it was published. We have it.
Okay, so what we're asking then, I guess, is does it matter when it was published, so long as he, managed to get the he managed to get the advertisement in, like he managed to get it submitted? I mean, is that what you're saying here? That it doesn't matter when it was actually published, or if, in the case of the Courier Post?
No, it does matter when it's published, but we've been working with Retrospect for a long time. We've been working with both organizations, Courier Post for a long time, and they know we pay our bill when we send stuff in, and we've been having a report how we send it to them. Now, how this one just went to the crack in the contract?
Both of them.
But it was both papers. It wasn't just
Both
one.
papers.
It was both papers where things weren't done properly. Now, you said you've been using the Courier Post and the Retrospect for a long time, and based on all the information that we have, that does seem to be the case. But that begs the question: how did this get screwed up at both papers? Yeah, that's great. It was sent.
It's okay. Will you just say that it was done properly? What you said it was. Just say it was done properly, and we'll let it go. But the mayor, I'm asking the mayor, please. I'm just asking if it was done properly. It's not this convoluted question, please.
No, you came here telling me that it wasn't done. You came here telling me that you spoke to the newspaper.
But you're telling me that you're in a position that you know. So
I know that it was sent. Okay. Now, why you didn't print the conversation, phone call back and forth? I'm not privileged to it. Okay. Until I get privileged to it and call to them why, then I can possibly give you an answer.
okay, that's fair.
Okay.
I have one final question. Can I ask a question? If we don't need an administrator and the administrator was being paid $75,000, why is it okay? Like, I don't understand how we suddenly have the money to pay a clerk, a single appointment, a single position of clerk, $75,000. Like, if you said we don't have the money for the administrator and you want to find that money, and if it's there, you'll use it, where do we find the money for a clerk?
This is three positions.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought it was just, okay.
It was 4.
Okay, it's three positions. As I said, we're gonna consolidate to save money as much as we can. Okay. If I know that somebody's experienced in doing a whole lot of stuff, and I can use that person to do all that stuff, I will give that person that job to do it. However, there is an accountability moving forward to make sure that is done.
I agree. There should be accountability.
And then we have to revisit it. However, I look at all the counties and cities and boroughs around us. Unfortunately, the ones that are a little bit bigger than us don't even have that. And that position is a crazy position, to be honest with you. And very soon we're gonna vote here at the council. Make sure that the mayor is not gonna get that position. Okay, that position was there for whoever is gonna be. But besides, we don't have the money. I don't know what you guys have in your account for me to be able to open up that position and appoint somebody. But I know with the preposition he's gonna be taking care of, which he's been doing, and he's good at it. Okay, and it's still yet to know as we move forward. Okay? I mean, I started my mayor today.
But you voted on the position.
I did.
You did.
I did, yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Hello, everyone. I've been a resident here in Woodlynne for over 20 years. And I just want to say to the former mayor, you did an excellent job. It's not an easy job, it's a thankless job. But I thank you for doing it because somebody did. And you were voted in, you weren't selected. And to the new mayor, I want to congratulate him. He's our first, well, the former mayor was our first minority mayor. Well, let's have a hand for our first African American mayor. We're willing to work with you and do whatever we can to help you along the way. All right? You're welcome.
I'll be brief. Clap one time in the back if you can hear me. Clap one time if you can hear me. I want to make sure. I heard a lot of complaining, but we couldn't hear earlier. I just want to follow up what the young lady just said. Congratulate the incoming mayor and also our former mayor and our newly elected council folks. I'm up here really because I'm a little discouraged with the Facebook post that I see and also what I've seen tonight. This gentleman over here, I don't know his name. Jeff, you always bring good information, so I do appreciate that and your concerns are valid. But what I implore you guys to do is that all these individuals come up here with paperwork, slide to the councilman, you obviously got extra time on your hands. So all you got to do is come to the...
You're not allowed to address us. You have to address the council.
And try to volunteer to do something.
If I did this, I'd be shut down.
So it's not always about what somebody else could do for you. It's about doing it for yourself. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Talk about what you can do going forward. I hear a whole lot of talking about what happened in the last administration when we got a brand new mayor up here. They dumped a whole bunch of crap on his lap, and then you're going to be saying we can't do anything. That's true. Thank you. I live in 240. I've been here for about 12 years. I'm all in and out the community. I've worked with several mayors in various different townships. That's what I do. If you're busy scraping your knuckles on the ground doing something, you ain't got time to complain or worry about what somebody else is doing. As far as the cars, rusted and all this other nonsense y'all talking about, man, we got kids out here dying. There's a whole lot of other things we could be focusing on. If you got that much time,
workshop meetings were canceled.
To be doing all this research, you got time to do something. It's that simple. I hear also attacking, and y'all wonder why when y'all come up here, y'all get shut down because y'all nasty. Y'all trifling. I see y'all posts. Y'all nasty, y'all trifling. Who are you talking to? If y'all talk to me or my family like that, it's gonna be a problem. And then you'll be crying that the cops don't come fast enough. Oh, the cops do this. Why we got a cop at the crossing guard? We got somebody there. Another thing, we don't know this yapping about the applicants. One thing I did not hear is I didn't hear anybody say I was slighted because I applied for it. If you didn't apply for it, what are we talking about? We got somebody in a position that's willing to do it. Fall back. Y'all worried about the wrong things. Everybody's gonna attack me. Yo, obviously got something against this man. I need to table that. Table that.
It's illegal.
If it's personal, it's personal. Y'all talking about it was posted in news. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. At the end of the day, if you're coming to council meetings, you know these positions is coming up. You know they vacant. So you would know.
Oh my God.
Right. If I don't know information because I didn't come to a meeting, that's on me. That's on me. And I've been in some of the council meetings when there's 10 people here. 10 people out of the whole community. None of those positions up here is appointed positions. These are elected positions. Use your mouth to vote. Kill me with all this nonsense that y'all doing in here. It really makes our township look horrible. And you putting it on Facebook, it's a social media, everybody sees it. You look like a fool because you still live here. If you don't want to be here, move out. And I know a lot of y'all are unhappy because the changes that's been going on over 20, 30 years, I like the changes. I was a kid when we couldn't even come in Woodlynne.
You just said kids are dying and you like the changes.
And now you're upset because it's changes. Deal with it.
You
It's a new world.
just said children are dying and we should do something, and now you say you like the changes.
What do you mean? That's not the change I'm talking about, though.
Obviously. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me say it. You know what I'm talking about. We all know. But, like, time's up. Time up.
Yeah, it only applies to us. And we can't address the public.
Yeah, time up. How long did he speak here? Time up. Then was it? Then was it? When he was out. Stop. Settle down. Once again, thank y'all for your service. Anybody else that's doing good work out here, I appreciate y'all. If nobody else does, I appreciate it.
Mayor, you have a gavel. Can you control your meetings? Call it to order. That's your job. My question is, there's no safety limit. How many people are allowed in this hall? There's no, I looked, there's no occupancy, maximum occupancy. That's a safety thing. It's not anywhere.
That's the fire chief.
So we have a fire chief. How many people are allowed in this hall? Used to be 200, but then they built that and they built that. Well, the fire marshal, but it has to be stated somewhere. There has to be a safety. Yeah, that's it.
It's over, it was over.
All right, well, that's all. So congratulations, Mayor. Council people. Yeah, call it to order.
Thank you.
Just real quick, take this moment to take a moment to recognize two employees that retired. I'd like to recognize at this point here, Eileen.
I'm not leaving.
Harper. Please come up. Cheryl Livingston. On the occasion of your retirement, we want to thank you for bringing you to bring about for Woodlynne. Your hard work and effort after years.
That's my mom. I said, let's go. We follow details.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure they motioned to. I'm pretty sure they adjourned.
Hold on, wait. Get this.